So here we get that this is the radius of circle, and if we are taking this one x equal to a by root 2, that is a line parallel to y-axis. So let's just make a line which is parallel to y-axis. And now from where it will pass, let's just look here. One is a by 2, that means it will go half of this. और ये फिर से a by root 2 है तो थोड़ा सा और 1.414 something like that. So it will be coming at this part. This will be a line which is a by root 2. So the coordinates here will be a by root 2 comma 0. We have to find out the area of smaller part of the circle cut off by this line. Now what is the smaller part? One part is इस line से two parts are cut. एक तो left side वाला और एक right side वाला. So smaller part is this one. We have to find out this area. Now because it is x-axis, so area will be symmetric above x-axis and below x-axis. Okay, so we can just find out one of them and take twice of that. So let's come to that. One is this, other is x equal to a by root 2. No need to find out this point क्योंकि हमें ये पता ही चल गया है कि it is a by root 2. The line is x equal to a by root 2. So it will cut x-axis at the point a by root 2. So let's just make a strip here. One end on x-axis and another on the circle. And we will, to find out this area, we will move the strip from a by root 2 to a. So our integral, or we can say required area is. And I told you because here we are finding out only area of one part, but finally we need the area of two parts. So here in the beginning only we will take twice. Twice of, कहाँ से कहाँ तक? Limits are from a by root 2 to a, and the equation of circle will be used. Let's just, this is y, this is dx, y dx. और y का मतलब we have to find out the value of y from here in terms of x. Because it is dx, the function should also be in terms of dx. यहाँ से अगर हम y की value find out करते हैं तो y is under root a square minus x square. So let's just put the value twice a by root 2 to a under root a square minus x square dx. And I told you the formula yesterday, very important formula which will be used maximum times in this exercise. Under root a square minus x square, integral of under root a square minus x square, that is x by 2 under root a square minus x square plus a square by 2 sine inverse x upon a plus c. Here because limits are there, the constant of integration will not be there. Okay, so let's just apply the formula here. So this is the formula that we have to apply. Area is twice. So we can just integrate this, and same under root a square minus x square is there, so directly formula ही apply हो जाएगा. That is x by 2 under root a square minus x square plus a square by 2 sine inverse x upon a. And now the limits a by root 2 and a. Limits application means upper limit minus lower limit. So let's apply upper limit first. So that is a. Now see, if we are putting a here, so this becomes a square minus a square. So first term क्या हो गई? 0 plus. If we put a here, so it is sine inverse a upon a. That means sine inverse 1. So a square by 2 sine inverse 1. Now a minus sign in between. अब यहाँ पे हमें a by root 2 put करना है in place of x. So it is a by 2 root 2. And here also be very careful whenever you are putting the limits. We generally make mistakes in putting the limits. It will be a square by 2. A square by 2 minus. Don't leave any step. Don't leave the step of putting the values and then after you solve. That will be more beneficial, that we will just less chances of mistakes are there. Sine inverse a by root 2. Okay, now let's just solve. We can multiply this 2 inside and we see that 2 will cancel out. Is 2 say ye 2 cancel, ye 2 cancel, ye 2 cancel after taking it common. Sine inverse 1 is pi by 2 minus. This is 2a square minus a square. That is upon a square by 2. So 1a is outside, a square by 2, so we get a by root 2. A root 2 पहले से था and one more we are getting from here. Minus. This is a square sine inverse 1 upon root 2. And 1 upon root 2 is the value of sine pi by 4, 45 degree. So this is pi by 4. Let's just solve. It is pi a square by 2 minus a square by 2 minus pi a square by 4. So you can take pi a square by 2 common. You can take, okay, a square by 2 common. And we are left with pi minus 1 minus pi by 2. Pi minus pi by 2 is pi by 2. So this is a square by 2 and pi by 2 minus 1. And because it is area, so we will write square units. Okay. So be very careful whenever you are making the figure. You have to put all the values there. The limits should be there and it will be easy if you make a strip and apply the formula accordingly. Okay. So last question that we did, in that case, the line was passing through first quadrant like this. Okay. So that was a different question. Excuse me. And now it is a parallel line to x-axis, so this is a different question. So you just have to look at the equation and see what type of line we are getting, what type of intersection is there with the circle. And accordingly we will solve it. Let's come to another question. Any problem in this? These all are important questions because the intersection of two curves is deleted from this one, but these is a curve and a line, so these questions are important. That is exercise 8.1 is more important now. Now again, we have to find out, okay, let's take question number 8. Here, this is somewhat different question. What we have to do, the area between x equal to y square and x equal to 4. X equal to y square. What type of curve is this? X equal to y square. We have learned about these types. Parabola. Very good. This is a parabola. Parabola, and whatever line is, whatever degree is linear, x, the power of x is 1, so it will be symmetric about x-axis. So let's just make x equal to y square. This is x equal to y square. And x equal to 4. The line x equal to 4. I just told you what type of line will this be? X equal to 4. Yes. What type of line is this? Straight line which is parallel to y-axis. The line which is parallel to y-axis. These type of lines are always parallel to y-axis. So let's make x equal to 4. is divided into two equal parts by the line x equal to a. Now this is the complete area and they say this is 4, 0. They say that this area is divided by a line x equal to a into two equal parts. So a0, let's make this a0. This is the line x equal to a, this is the line x equal to 4. So part 1, area of part 1 is equal to area of part 2. You have to find out the value of A. Okay, now what we will do? You have to find out the value of A. So how to find out the area? Again, we know that the area above x-axis will be symmetric with the area below x-axis. Okay, so we can just take the above area. So we can say area 1 equal to area 2. So half of area 1 is equal to half of area 2. So let's just take a strip on the first area, take a strip on the second area, and we can write it as y1 dx, we can write it as y2 dx. So this is, now when we are moving this one, in the first area, when we are moving this strip, it moves from 0 to a. The limits are 0 to a. An equation of parabola will be used. I told you that whenever we are making a strip, one end will be on x-axis, any of the axis, and other end is on the curve. So, जौन से भी curve पे ये strip का end lie कर रहा है, we will take the equation of that. So we will use the equation of parabola. And the limits will be, because it is dx, so we can say y1 dx equal to y2 dx. Another one is y2 dx. Both the areas are equal. Now let's check the limits. Because it is dx, the limits will be used, will be of x. So it is 0 to a in first case, and in second case it is a to 4. In second case it is a to 4. And in both the cases, the equation of parabola will be used in terms of x. So if we find out the value of x from here, so we get y equal to root x. Let's just put this value, 0 to a root x dx equal to a to 4 root x dx. And we need to find out the value of a. So we just can integrate and put the limits. Let's integrate. This will be x raised to the power 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 upon
3 by 2.
1 by 2 plus 1. Yes. So it becomes x raised to the power 3 by 2, and this is 2 by 3. The limits are 0 to a equal to, again, 2 by 3, x raised to the power 3 by 2. The limits are a to 4. Let's put the limits. We can just cancel out 2 by 3 from both the sides. So it will be easier for us to solve. We will first put a here. So a raised to the power 3 by 2 minus 0. And here it is 4 raised to the power 3 by 2 minus a raised to the power 3 by 2. Take the terms of a to one side, twice a raised to the power 3 by 2. Now how to solve this? I told you we have done one more question, 1 or 2 questions earlier also. What do? We just first solve this thing, the powers. Okay, so let's just solve the powers. This is square root. First of all, we'll solve the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So this becomes 2 raised to the power 3. Okay, the square root of 4, first of all, we'll take its square root and then we will cube it. The square root is 2 and 2 raised to the power 3. So if we solve this, we get a raised to the power 3 by 2 as 2 raised to the power 2. और a की value क्या आ गई? What is the value of a here now? So a is 4 raised to the power 2 by 3. We can just write it like this. 4 raised to the power 2 by 3, or further if you want to solve it, so you can just solve it like this. That is simplifying this thing. So how do we simplify this? First of all, we will take the square of 4. Square of 4 is 16, and then we will take its cube root. So 16 we know is this one, right? So you can just take 2 and 2 raised to the power n by 3. You can either write it like this or you can leave the answer here only. So it will be better if we leave the answer here. No need to simplify it further. Okay. So this is how we have to solve this and get the result.